Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
How is everyone on this lovely foggy morning?
Woohoo! Oh, way great.
We are here. That's a good answer. I am here too. So since we're all here, let's start the day by raising our voices and having a good time. We've done this one several times before, so I'm pretty sure you can be loud. Here we go. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source. Joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything. One more time. God gives me everything I need.
Welcome, everybody. We have David Duvall giving us the pleasure of his company. Our guest speaker today is the beautiful Reverend Joanna Gabriel. We have Debbie Lee for our board member of the week and our usher. And our chaplain, Miss Nora. She's also our youth champion. And Laura and Mary Ellen are our hospitality hosts. And we are all responsible for our own cleanup. Our technology director, Mr. Mark Swing. And I'm Ron Savage. Okay, is there any new people here? I don't see any new bodies. Nope. Okay. If you would lead us in the heart song.
I would be delighted. I would be delighted to. Again, this is another one I know we've done before, so feel free to sing out. Day by day, oh dear Lord, these things I pray, to see you more clearly, love you more dearly, follow you more
Bremerton, we welcome you in the spirit of love. We want you to know, no matter where you are in your journey of faith, you're always welcome here. We know that the world is a better place when we are willing to share our hearts. We give you this heart as a symbol of the steadfast spirit that lives within each of us, and we ask you to carry this symbol as a member of the Red Heart Fellowship. Let it be a reminder that the love of God is always with you and to share your heart wherever you go. The Red Heart, as a symbol of fellowship in the world, can spread love one heart at a time. Let's start the movement here. So we have unity happenings. On the 28th, we have Sally and Jamie. On the 4th, Joanna's coming back. Here again. We are lucky.
Maybe I'm the lucky one.
November 11th, we have Doug Beneke with Sally's Spirit.
Doug Beneke.
Beneke.
Beneke. Is this the first time they're coming?
No.
I think so.
No.
Oh, okay. Maybe not. Oh.
On the 17th of November, there's a craft fair and bazaar fundraiser. So all you people who are participating, start getting your stuff together. And on the 18th, we have George Lindemood with Sally and Jamie. And they are the special guest.
Ooh.
Course of Miracles is on Thursday at 7 p.m. And everybody is welcome. We have a really nice little saying from Charles Fillmore in here this week. Cultivate the habit of thinking about abundance everywhere present, not only in the forms of imagination, but in the forms without. Nice. Okay. Weekly board report. Come on up.
Good morning, everyone. How are you? It's good to see so many of you here today. We'd like to remind you that we are live streaming our service, so we ask that you please keep your conversation down because it is being picked up, especially during the candle lighting and paper burning ceremony. Also, please take a moment and be sure that your cell phones are off or on vibrate. And I need to do that as soon as I sit down. We also want to remind everyone that prayer request forms are available in the back pocket of the seats. And you can put them in the prayer box right here. Or you can put them in the offertory bag. And then, let's see, our chaplain today is Nora, and she will be available to pray with you after the service. So she'll meet you in the back corner over here. Unity of North Kitsap has a weekly meditation, and the next one will be on Thursday the 25th. It's entitled Prayer and Meditation Around One Large Community Drum. Walter Mahler returns from vacation to lead us in this sacred ritual. Everything is provided, so all you need to do is show up. Everyone is welcome, and meditations are held in the fellowship hall at Faith Episcopal in Paulsbo. So like Ron mentioned, our craft fair is coming up on November 17th. For those who've signed up, please start thinking about what you'll be sharing. And if you haven't already signed up, please do so we can plan the space accordingly. And as always, we invite you to please stop by the fellowship in the fellowship area at the table for any other sign-ups with all the activities going on. And that way you can stay up to date. And if you really want to stay up to date, make sure you're signed up for the eBlast newsletter so that comes out to your phone regularly. You can sign up for the weekly newsletter on our website or use the sign-up sheet in the fellowship area. Our annual congregational meeting will be held today. After a brief fellowship time, we want to start the meeting at 12 o'clock. So members will need to sign in and check in order to get their information packets and voting papers. And we just have one little lost and found item. A lipstick was found recently, so if you've lost one, please check in with Cindy. She has it for you. And as always, if you have any suggestions, questions, or concerns, please see a board member. Thanks and have a great day.
This candle represents the divine light within each of us. We are a welcoming community, supporting our mutual quest for spiritual truth. There is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotence. Now it's time for handshakes and hugs, and take it easy, some people are proud.
What do you think I show up,
Oh, with this meeting, this is a meeting day, and I was looking on ahead to what Daily Word had, peeked on ahead for this day, and it's perfect. It's just, but there are no coincidences. We know that. And Spirit is right with us all the time. It's guidance. I am one with the loving guidance of Divine Mind. Spirit expresses through all of creation as loving guidance, maintaining perfect order in all things. Today I focus and take time to gain direction in all that I do. We can put that in the plural first person. Today we focus and take time to gain direction in all that we do. Since my essence is of Spirit, I am one with Divine Mind always. And I remember that truth whenever I feel confused, conflicted, or uncertain of what my next step should be. Now, my mortal mind is limited, relying on yesterday's fears to make today's decisions. Mortal mind? Oh, wait. I choose to move beyond any perceived limitations to the loving guidance available through the presence of Divine Mind within. This day unfolds before me, filled with satisfaction and joy, as I feel that loving guidance with every step I take, every choice I make. I am one with the loving guidance of Divine Mind. In Psalms 119, verse 105, your word is a lamp to my feet and a light to my path. I am one with the loving guidance of Divine Mind. God blesses us.
Amen.
This is one of my favorite songs. I hope you enjoy singing it with me. I see trees of green where the roses do. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, the bright blessed day, and the dark sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also in the faces of people going by. I hear friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, thank you. You sounded beautiful this morning.
Say what? Somebody said something about that song, but I didn't.
Oh, I just said I love the vibration of that song. Not just the words, but the vibration.
Yeah, I often sing it when I'm driving, because it counters everything that's actually going on outside in the car.
There you go.
The next song today is one of my new ones. Actually, Joanna got to hear it when we just did a service together over in Kent. The tracks were not done because I'm in the studio doing it, but they are now. So now you get to hear it with all the stuff that's going to be there. As I sit seeking silence, seeking peace with myself, thinking on years gone by, everything falls so neatly in place. There's no more need to ask why. As I gaze at the sky, the moon's shining at noon, and each chapter of life I survived comes clearer in focus. The losses, the gains, brought me here to this place where I thrive. So grateful to be alive. Being the life, breathing with life everlasting. Listening to life, feeling the life, filling all life with love. Listening to life, being the life, breathing with life everlasting. Listening to life, feeling the life, filling all life with love. It's everywhere, it's everyone, it's everything I see. It wraps itself inside of us, connecting all lovingly at the center of creation. It all comes together as one. Ultimately, there is just no way love can ever become undone. I'm listening to life, being the life, breathing with life everlasting. Listening to life, feeling the life, feeling all life with love. Listening to life, being the life, breathing with life everlasting. Listening to life, feeling the life, feeling all life with love. Everywhere, it is everyone, it is everything I see. It wraps itself inside of us, connecting all lovingly at the center of creation. It all comes together as one. Ultimately, there is just no way love can ever become undone. I'll keep listening to life, being the life, breathing with life everlasting. Listening to life, feeling the life, filling all life with love. Listening to life, being the life, breathing with life everlasting.
With us, Reverend Joanna Gabriel.
Thank you. That was great, David. Really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
So we can all say we knew you when. It is so wonderful to be back here with you. It feels like I haven't been here forever. Lots going on in that time. Thank you. Thank you for the wonderful cards, your love, your prayers. As some of you have seen the picture I've been sending around that was true a month ago, I'm healing very quickly, and I give you full credit for that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, I understand there's lots of interesting things going on around here. It's, not so that we'll get settled get bored with how things are. Let's change them up, right? Whether we want to or not.
Right.
But you see, when I understood that I was going to be speaking about prosperity today, that there was a congressional meeting and you all would be talking about important things, and I was just feeling into it like, prosperity. That's this old, tired word that we hear about, prosperity. What is that? Did you know that prosperity has nothing to do with money?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that? Well, see, you're way ahead of me. I thought it was all about money. No, it isn't. It's about the whole experience of the flow, the divine flow, the divine energy that is constantly moving and regenerating itself and expanding itself. And it expands itself in the places and where that which is willing allows it to. And so if you're not having a wonderful, juicy dance with the divine flow, it isn't the fact that the divine flow doesn't exist, is that the doors and windows may not be open far enough to allow it to come in.
Coming in.
Is that it? Is that the divine flow coming in? I don't know if it's something I'm doing, but anyway, that's the part that I would love for us to really get this morning, because there's so much noise out there that is everything but this, right? And it causes us to have to be very mindful, very aware, very intentional about where we're putting our intention, our focus, because that's the thing. Jesus, one of the great master teachers, Jesus said to us, is that allow God to be at work inside of you. Let that be your focus. And if you'll do that, all things shall be added unto you. Did you get that's what he meant when he said that?
Absolutely.
He's given us the whole game plan right there. He's given us the secret right there.
Would you repeat that phrase again, please?
What did I say?
Let's go, let's go.
Well, exactly. Jesus said, be about God inside. Let God be what's at work inside of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, because as we do that, all things shall be added unto us. But that's the key. That's the trigger. That's the thing. And so if that's not happening for you in your life, or that's not what feels like is going on in this church, then there's some work to do. And it's not about being wrong or bad or negative or anything. It's just about refocusing, shifting our focus, being more, it's like if you're on the sailboat, and those of you who are sailors in here know how to adjust the boat to take the greatest advantage of the wind, to go in the direction that you want to go. Right? So that's what's important here, and I know that it probably doesn't feel like it was that long ago when this congregation was looking at making a huge change about where its church home was going to be. You all, those of you, many of you were here then, you remember that, and it was a complete unknown. I don't know. We know we're going to sell this church, and as soon as you guys decided that indeed you were ready to sell, it sold, right? It took a while for everybody to get on board, but once everybody did, done, because that's what happens. That's what happens. Once you're on board, it moves. You move. If you're not moving, then everything isn't on board. And there's where the work is. So it's not about a make wrong. It's not about I'm not doing this right. It's just the way you can tell. If it isn't moving, if the answer isn't there yet, if you don't see the next step yet, then right now is to get focused on what it is that you're wanting. This church has been through, this group, this spiritual community, this spiritual family has been through a lot together. A lot. Over a long period of time. And now you're gathering your energies again to move to the next step of evolution for this community. And because you have been through a lot together, and because you are a strong body together, the tapestry is very, very snug and tight together the way it's supposed to be so it doesn't fray and unravel. To those who much is given, much is asked. And you all are being asked to come together again and look at what the next step is going to be. And it may be another huge change. Looks like it may be. Can you do it?
Yes.
Will you do it?
Yes.
Do you have parts of you that are going, oh my God, no. Can't we ever just be settled down for a few years? I mean, do we have to go through it again?
Mortal mind, mortal mind.
Mortal mind, that's right, Marilyn, that's it. Because you see, it's so powerful. It's so powerful what we focus our attention on. If we're focusing our attention on what are we going to draw to us? Let's say it together. Exactly. Hello. And so it's an opportunity where in this moment, maybe we don't have a clue what the next step is going to be. But what we know is that we're going to take it together. And we've done it before. And look what you created out of that. Because I promise you, I was there that first Sunday after you were out of the church building in the college. In the college cafeteria, was it? And we were all looking around at each other like, what? What are we doing here? Right? Remember that? And we had no idea what the next step was going to be. But look what happened. Look what you all co-created. Look what you drew to you. And there were many, many blessings in it. Was there growth opportunities? Oh, of course there were. Did you have to stretch? Was a lot asked? Yes. And look who you are now. And you're being asked again to step up because you've got it, my friends. You guys can create anything. All things are possible right here, right now. The only limitation is the limitation that you put on it by this. Or the neener. There's the limitations. If you all are saying, okay, obviously it's time, we're going to do something different, let's go for it. What's it going to be? What could it look like? What would you as a group like to co-create together? Is there something that you all a statement you want to make together? Do you want to be more a part of the community at large in Bremerton? Do you want to be more part of the giving community? Do you want to be more part of the healing community? Do you want to be more part of a celebratory community? Do you want to have little bits of all of that? There's no wrong way to go. But you have to be willing. You have to open the mind, the windows and doors of possibility, of considering that Spirit's wanting to move in big time because it sees this is fertile ground. We have to allow it. We have to say yes. David can tell you because we were together when I first spoke after I had my surgery. I was recounting how when I haven't had surgery since 1976, and he will tell you that I shared that what I noticed about between now and then are the drugs are better now. Yeah, I gotta say. When I was lying there waiting to go, because I thought I was going into a little clinic to have a little thing removed and go home, you know. And then they couldn't get it the first time, so they had to do it 2 times. And then after the second time, they couldn't close it. So then they said, well, you're going to have to go into Swedish to a plastic surgeon, and he's going to take you into the operating room under general anesthesia and close it. And I'm going, oh, no, really? So anyway, I had to go do that. And so I'm lying there waiting to go into the operating room. And I realized that this is the absolute moment of surrender. Total. Because there isn't another thing that I personally, Joanna, could do about this. I was giving it over to the folks in there in that room and said, okay, this is yours. And of course, I'm calling God into the whole thing. The surgeon, the anesthesiologist, the circulating nurse, the scrub nurse, everybody, the drugs, everything into it. Using it, being the vehicle and vessel for that energy to express through all of it. But there wasn't another thing I personally could do. And I realized that I wish that I could get, that I wouldn't have to have surgery to get that this is the most powerful moment where I'm not giving up. It isn't a sign of weakness. We think of surrender so often in our culture as weakness. It's not. It's a very powerful stance to say, okay, use me. Use me. I get that nothing bad is going to happen here. Nothing bad could happen. Even if I died on the table, nothing bad was going to happen there. And so the opportunity to just really get that and be present and allow it is powerful. All things are possible as a result. And indeed, it isn't about going in for surgery under the knife here that we're talking about today, but we are talking about stepping into an unknown. And for many of us, the ego hates the unknown. Hates it. Makes it wrong. If it doesn't have files on it, no. And so knowing that as conscious beings, we have to move through that and past it to a place of, you know what? It's all good here. It's all positive here. No, we don't see it, but we know it's possible, and we're open to it. Whatever that looks like, wherever that takes us, we can do it. There will be the money. There will be the resources. There will be the people. There will be the space. It may be that Spirit is moving to you to a place that doesn't also house a funeral home and crematory. I'm just saying, it's possible. I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm just saying. Not that there's anything wrong with that, I'm not saying that. But you know, it may be. And what we could do, or what would be really helpful to do, my friends, is to really know together that the absolute perfect space is in the process of becoming available to you through all kinds of things coming together and connections being made and all this stuff that goes on all the levels of creation and co-creation right now are happening for you. So that the moment you are ready to say, okay, let's do it. Bingo. And it's the winner takes all. Because that's what you drew to you. That's what you created by trusting the process, by opening the doors and windows, by letting yourself surrender, knowing that what you're surrendering to is the unfoldment of divine order. Questions or comments about that?
Most of you know about my new fur baby, and for many, many, many years, I've been searching for her, for various reasons in my own personal life. And as I was talking to you this morning, I realized I had to do the work for me before she came into my life. And as soon as it was time, everything, all the pieces fell into place.
Yeah.
And it was just, it happened in about 2 hours, and I had her in my arms and was taking her home. And it was just amazing how that happened. And some of you can attest that I have been looking for a small doll like this for months. And, you know, I had to be good for me in order to be able to draw her to me.
Oh, Tracy, thanks for that. That's a perfect example. Indeed, it's an internal process. That's what Jesus meant. The kingdom of God is within you. So where do we look? Within us. When we look outside, we're wasting our time and our energy and our money and whatever. Once we do that inner work, whatever that looks like, and we trust the process, and loving ourselves, forgiving ourselves, accepting ourselves is a good place to start. That allowing it's like it moves stuff out of the way, and you can see, and some of those windows are painted shut, I'm willing to bet. I know mine have been, and I don't know, maybe you have to be a certain age to remember painted shut windows. Remember painted shut windows? Anyway, that whole painted shut window thing. That it's that inner work that starts to take the stylus to cut across that paint so that you can get that wooden window open. And oh, when that breeze comes in for the first time, oh, what a blessing. How wonderful is that? But you see, that's the thing. That's where that work is. If it isn't happening, if you're not clear, if you're not okay with the unknown, that means that the ego's in charge, because it remembers all the stuff that happened in the past. Well, you know, the last time. Remember the last time? Remember that? Oh boy. Oh, we don't want to go there again. Oh boy. And it's like, okay, yeah. And we learned from that. Okay? We learned from that. We don't have to go there again. We got it. But if we're going to focus on that, and oh my God, this could happen, and do, and this, and oh boy, what are you going to draw to you, my friends? The very same thing. It's what you focus on. If you're focusing on the negative, you're going to draw the negative. There's nothing else to say about it. So focus on the positive, and for the church, focus on it together. Do your individual work and bring that work here so that you can do it together and draw to you the perfect next step, whatever that looks like. And it's okay that we don't know what it is today. We don't have to. That's right, Marilyn. We don't have to. We trust the process. We trust that the next step is going to unfold absolutely as it needs to. And we trust it.
That's what, just like what you just said, how the church, they were somewhere else. They didn't have the ideal place. I mean, it was like sometimes you have to let go
Absolutely.
of what you have in order to make room for that something new. I mean, that's what agape has just done. they let go of their lease. I mean, they're looking at, you know, thousands and thousands of people. And, you know, and I know what he's wanting, you know, a place to build a hotel and everything else. And so they're in a temporary place too, right now. And it's ideal, the Savon Theater, you know, but it's just like the church did. And you're really reminding me how you have to let go sometimes
do.
of what you have in order to make space for that.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, dear. This can really relate to phases in your life too. Of not knowing what's coming, where you're gonna be,
Indeed.
what the plan is.
Phases of our lives, one phase ending, another beginning, and not knowing what the next step is going to be. And it's really hard for the next thing to come in when we're still holding on really tight to the past. And we do that. Why? Because of identity. If I don't identify with this anymore, then who am I? When I work with people who are grieving, very often they are grieving the pain and suffering of losing someone they love. It's really huge, of course, but it's no bigger than the loss of identity that they had in that relationship as this person's partner or this person's father or this person's daughter or whatever it was. Who am I now if I'm not that anymore? Do you see what I'm saying? And so because that feels like an unknown, we'll hang on to the past thing because we don't want to let it go. Because we don't know, well, if I'm not that, then am I nothing? Who am I? And like I said, the ego hates that space. Makes it wrong. Oh, makes it wrong. Makes you wrong. Makes everybody else wrong. Right? So there's got to be a willingness to let go. It's like that space. I've given a talk, maybe I gave it here, I can't remember, about the in between the trapezes.
Right.
Remember that? That place where you're swinging out and before you're reaching out before the next one gets there. That space in between. That's faith. That's faith right there. And that's what we're being asked, is to have faith that it's going to work out, and it's going to work out great. And we know that. And that's what we're drawing to us. Yeah, we don't know what it is. None of us knows what it is in this moment. And that's okay. Make it fun. Because in this moment, there are no limitations. You could be meeting on, one of the ferries that they're taking out of commission or something. Wouldn't that be fun? I just made that up. Whatever.
They do casinos, why not a church?
The casino, one of the casinos? Did you
No,
say?
I said they make casinos out of ferry boats, why not a church?
That's right. They make casinos out of ferry boats. Why not a church? There are no limitations at this point. The only limitations there would be are the ones that you place on it. So don't. Don't. And know that you're backed up in that. And so let's take a moment to get very still. Breathe. And let's just feel our presence here in this moment of now. Our job is breathing and allowing. Breathing and allowing. That's the task. That's your to-do list. Breathe and allow. Say yes. Feel how even in this moment of now you are completely supported. The chair is supporting your body. And the floor is supporting your chair. And the ground is supporting the floor. And the earth is supporting the ground, and the universe is supporting it all. You are held. You are held in this moment of now by divine essence, by the embrace of divine love. Feel it. Can you feel it? Like the biggest and warmest hug you ever felt. Breathing, and if we listen very carefully, we hear divine essence whisper, I see you, I feel you, I've got you. I've got you. You are safe. You are held. You are embraced. And no matter what's going on out there, no matter how many unknowns, know I am here and I've got you. And nothing's going to go on out there that you and I cannot manage together. Nothing. And yes, as a group, we're looking at a next step. I'm here. I'm in the midst of it. Listen. Open. Allow. There are new beginnings, new possibilities, new directions. And we're going to live it together. And there will be enough. There is always enough. And as I hold you here, as you feel yourself embraced, there may be someone you know who could really use my embrace right now, who could really use that feeling of being held, of that safety. Feel free to say their name out loud right now. And for those in our community, in our state, in our country, in our world, that as you are held, all life is lifted up. this reminder. We are grateful. And so it is. Amen.
It's a smooth jazz morning. This is going to be the same kind of groove as the other one, so stay mellow. These are some wonderful words. I didn't write them. No. Two. Great. And let's turn that down, shall we? Even a little bit more. That's good. When the sky is a bright canary yellow, I forget every cloud I've ever seen. So they call me a cockeyed optimist, immature and incurably green. I have heard people rant and rave and bellow that we're done and we might as well be dead. But I'm only a cockeyed optimist, and I can't get it into my head. I hear the human race is falling on its face and hasn't very far to go. But every whippoorwill is selling me a bill and telling me that that's just not so. I could say life is just a bowl of jello and appear more intelligent and smart, but I'm stuck like a dope on this thing called hope, and I can't get it out of my heart. No, 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 not this heart, not this heart. Thank you.
Just get another candle. There you go. There's no living the light.
We'll try later. As you're preparing your tithes and love offerings today, think about how blessed you are. And as you're writing your check or giving your gift, send out your blessings. Come up and light a candle or dispose of something you don't need at the burning bowl. At least that's what I use
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
I give willingly,
joyfully, and lovingly, knowing that God is the constant source of my supply. I give with graciousness and receive with gratitude.
Okay.
Do you want me to start with my good?
Yes.
I'll start with the good news.
Okay.
We had Joanna here today. That's about the best news I can find.
Well, that's good, best news.
My good news is that, I don't know if anybody noticed, but I am not wearing my back brace. And I love it. It's been lost for a long time now. I came into work on Thursday, and there was a card on my desk, and it was a thank you card, and it was signed by, bosses and supervisors and managers at the place where I work, and I had to pause a minute and think, did I do something good? What's this all about? And there was also a very nice little gift enclosed, and then I remembered, I've been here 3 years. It's my 3-year anniversary.
I believe David has some good news he'd like to share with us.
My mic on? Is my mic on?
You're
My
on.
mic is not
No,
quite
you're
on.
not.
There it is. Now my mic is on. Actually have 2 pieces of good news, and am I allowed to do a prayer request here?
Go right ahead,
Great.
please.
First, good news is that everyone survived my wife's 75th birthday party yesterday, which was an extravaganza 2 months in the making. So, yes, no family squabbles, nothing. I know, right? Yeah, then never mind. My prayer request is actually for my very dear friend Robin and her mother Phyllis. Phyllis's body has been failing for a long time, and she's back in the hospital. I just found out this morning again for about the 14th time, and both of them, your talk is so perfect, both of them are afraid. Phyllis is afraid to leave. Robin is afraid of what will happen when Phyllis leaves. So anybody who wants to send up a prayer that that whole situation gets as blessed as it can possibly be would be great. Yeah, thank you. And then this is not going to sound like good news when I started, but this is the last time I will probably be with you for a very long time. Because on Friday I accepted an offer to be the musical director at Northlake Unitarian Universalist. That does a lot of things and is involved with a lot of the things that you said over there. And one of the blessings that comes with that is that it is a 3 out of 4 Sunday gig. They only expect me 3 out of 4 weeks, which means that I have a 4th week to travel. Well, I won't be here every 4th week. There are other people who like to see me too, and other people I like to visit. But,
We'll
so I
scoop
will
them
be.
when we can.
Yeah.
Leash you out. I know how to reach them. It's all good, don't worry.
So I will see you again, but it'll be a while before I see you.
Congratulations.
Something that, like I am one with the divine and the theme of what's going on. If you don't know, there's no accident that that is coming so strong right now, because Wednesday is actually Global Oneness Day. And it has been going on since they made it that way, started in 2008. And it has picked up momentum to the point where on Wednesday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. there is going to be live stream all day long people like Neil Donald Walsh and Bob Proctor from The Secret, Marianne Williamson that's been speaking all these years from Course in Miracles. You can see the whole schedule of who is, and they're all talking about this oneness of the divine that they have been living and teaching for so many years. So if you're interested in the link for that, since I'm on so many of these people's lists, I've worked with a lot of them, I'm going to be live streaming it at my new center, which I did open to, so I have a new healing center that I was open to that, and the day before I even got the keys for it. I got the brand new 55-inch smart TV given to me for the live stream that I wanted to do for all these years, so I'll be live streaming on that. So many wonderful things have opened when I did let go of what's been and all the loss to the new. So anyone that wants that link or wants to come celebrate oneness with me at the new center, I would certainly welcome that. I'll be there all day, so you can talk to me afterwards.
Right here. Just real quick.
Oh.
Those, Mike. Here, I'll hold it for you. Oh, no. Those of you that I told about Natalie St. George's new book, I brought it today. It's a gift to the church for their library. So feel free to pick it up and look at it. Natalie's doing awesome. Speaking of letting go, she sold her house, as a lot of you know. She just picked up and went to Tucson and decided she's starting her new life. Left everything behind. She's in Tucson looking for her new residence, and so we wish her well on her journey.
Yes.
Natalie.
Thank you. Today, right after the service, don't forget we have a chaplain who's going to be over on the side over here. We'll pray with you for good, for the good, and welcome you. So if everybody'd rise and stretch across the aisle and grab a hand of a neighbor.
Okay, which way are we going?
I the power of God protects us, and the presence of God